Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. News and views, my views on some of the news out here. And this is some disturbing news if you are a black man in the United States. It's all out war on us. Uh, so first, before I get into this, oi to the bang. Was ist los? Bonjour, mes amis. Konnichiwa, ni hao, ni hama, kedu, and bawani. Um, these people in Arkansas, and let's hope this mess stay there. If not, I'm afraid of what's going to happen to a lot of women. And I say this, remember the story I put out about the Wilkinsburg murder where two guys shot up a house and killed only the females. There was a lot of babies that those women had. All right. And I personally think because of the area, it may be because of drug. But then remember the court case where the dude, he was ordered to pay child support, so he shot the mother and child. All right. And people was like, oh man, that was this, that, and the other. Right. But they didn't understand that this dude was stuck with automatic child support in arrears to the point that he could not pay. He knew he couldn't pay. He said, I'm going to jail anyway. And I was like, well, dude, you can make it. Try it. You ain't going to go to jail. I mean, yes, he will. And sooner than you think. All right, this is what's happening in the United States. For Mother's Day, they are arresting black men. Yes, black women are by far our number one enemy. Them and their white daddy. I'm saying this. I'm not sure they are capable of loving a black man. See, everybody likes you when you do what they want. If a black man leads or want to lead, then a woman don't want him around. That's the first thing that come out of their mouth. I'm done. They don't want him around. They kick him out of their life and stuff like that. That's what they've been doing with a lot of these children. In the video I just put up earlier, you hear a dude say, she won't even let me see my child. And that's how black women are. This is the state of black women and black men in the United States. And so it's not a wonder anymore why a lot of dudes are taking to guns and they're just shooting things up. Some of us, we could just pay child support. Some of them, given the vitriol of the women, given that the only thing that matters is their point of view, given that they have really no love for you. Here's the thing. Women generally, black women are not sacrificing anything for a black man. She's not backing a black man. Like I said, as soon as something goes left, first thing she says is, bye, I'm out the door. If you don't do it my way, you don't see it my way. They don't want no leadership of the black man in their life at all, over his children, over her, over a home. Brothers, it's time to get. All right. Now, all the child support data that I'm putting on here, and there's going to be a lot, so brothers, pay attention. Hit up a voice for men. All right. And I am going to try to remember to leave a link in the description box. All right. But this is a voice for men. All right. And you should be able, it's an organization, so you should be able to find it. All right. So this is how the story goes. There was 15 arrested in a child support warrant roundup for Operation Mother's Day. Now, this is why this is going to get Interesting. This is in Jefferson County, Arkansas, April 28th. All right. They did this for Mother's Day. Let me read the rest of this. With just a week until Mother's Day, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office conducted a child support warrant roundup that led to the arrest of 15 individuals for failure to pay child support. Operation Mother's Day, which involved Tri-County Drug Task Force investigation and deputies. So Drug Task Force investigation and deputies. So child support is now a crime. It's now a crime for a black man to have or want to have a child by a black woman in the United States of America. It has risen to the level of drug crimes. So this is a Tri-County Drug Task Force investigators and deputies from Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and Uniform Patrols and Criminal Investigations Division. So they went after these dudes as if they committed murder. Actually, murderers get away with more than, all right. They were, and it was considered a success. Our deputies and investigators made a concentrated effort to direct at the order of child support body attachment for this endeavor. So they took the drug task force, deputies, uniform patrol. They took all of this. You would think they were going after terrorists. But that's why I said black men. I am really starting to understand. The black women don't love us. They hate us. Number one enemy. They want you to get them pregnant. Then they extort you, knowing that this is what's waiting for you. That's why a lot of those brothers were going crazy. Especially those that didn't have the means to pay and make up a $33,000 deficit. All right. So this is more on that. All right. So they're calling this Operation Mother's Day. Screw Father's Day. Screw the dudes that are paying child support when it is proven that the child they're paying for isn't there and that the woman lied and extorted them. Forget about the man who they robbed him. Literally, they knew that the child was never his. But because this woman came up with a name to get on welfare, and it just happened to match his name, and he was out of town when they decided to serve the court summons for him to show up. And by the time he did get there and he was able to take a DNA, he proved without the shadow of doubt he never even had sex with the woman. She just got his name, just pulled it out of a box. That would be her little brain. And this dude been in and out of prison since for the rest of his life. Like I said, they don't love us. All right. So, to you simps out there, and to you people out there that's like the solution for all of this, here's an idea. How about let's get rid of welfare and child support? Then the black woman would might make more responsible decision about who they sleep with. And maybe they might be responsible enough not to be a hoe for thugs. Or you can give the child to the working father, where the child stands a better chance of not becoming a criminal as he grow up in a single mother household. Or how about this? He has a better chance when there's a good man in the household of not being molested, having somebody to run home to for protection having a man to train him to fight, having a man to train him to be a man, having a man to train him to have manners. Because the attitudes and the way these children are talking to adults now at an early age is not going to be work well for them as they grow up with this kind of mentality. Did you know that more men than women that pay child support, regardless of custody status? Only 25% of mothers with physical custody of their children do not receive child support payments. That means 75% of mothers do. In the black community, 68% of black men pay their child support, whereas 42% of black women do not. Not only do black women do not pay them, women are the most deadbeat when it comes to children than men ever were. One, they don't pay child support in order to pay it at all. They pay less. Two, more children are abandoned by their mother in the black community. And when they say abandonment, they say upwards to 80%, meaning that mom leave the child with auntie, leave the child with grandma, leave the child with grandmama, leave the child with uncle, leave the child with anybody, and they out the door. So at some point in the child's life, to a single mother, 80% or upwards to 80% will be abandoned by the mother. More mothers and fathers pay none of the child support. This is through Pew Research. All right. So check this out. So the sheriff here decided to do this to crack down on deadbeats. All right. Now you see how they're going after it. And basically, out of one white dude who they've been putting in jail are black men. All right. It doesn't say that, all right, forget this moral right. A man do not have a moral right. It's not even a legal obligation. Child support and the family court system is against the Constitution. But because you got the white daddy of the black woman running it and stuff like that, they run roughshod over men's rights. That's the bottom line. All right, when they say parents have the moral right, all right, they can't talk about morality when they let the black mothers and women do all the mess that they do. Child support in and of itself is immoral. It is immoral. It has created immorality in the black woman, in women in general, but I'm dealing with in the black community. All right, so we're talking about women in general, but my thing is about what's going on in the black community because I live in it, I see it, I've grew up in it. I don't know who cares what the white people were doing. All I know is that black people were always better before the 60s than even the white people were. And now black women are the most wretched enemy that the black man has ever had, bar none. The modern day black woman is the most wretched enemy the black man has ever had. And what makes them more dangerous is you never know when they're going to turn against you as a black man. All right. So they elected to try to shame men into doing things that's against the Constitution, but no one ever shames the mother to having a good man in the child's life. That's why I do it. People like, why do I make the videos I do? Y'all starting to understand. Everybody do things to shame men into doing things which is against his interest to provide for a good family. All right. They shame him into being destructive to himself. They try to shame him into taking the role of servant to the black woman. And brothers are getting tired. They're getting real tired. The black woman has no respect, absolutely no respect for the black man. They don't even know how to care for a black man when a good one comes. Why? Is because they have been trained since childhood in the United States and its territories to be disrespectful to any good black man, to see that black man in fear, to think that a black man don't have no rights to protect himself. He don't have the right to be angry at anything, and he don't have the right to lead. All right. So this is all the shaming tactics to black men. So guess what, simps? This includes you. Here's the real statistics, though. Black men are way better custodial parents. Black men try to take care of their duties, but black women do not at all, even though they have to pay less. Y'all could pause that. And so they did this to frighten men into giving them money so that they could give it to these women to go out and buy all these weaves, butt injections, lipo, cosmetic surgery, makeup, nails, jewelry. The black woman is living better than her child and the father. The black woman is making the white community rich off of the black man's and the black child's, the black man's money and the black child's substance. They try to say that black men don't do any housework or anything like that. That's bull. Now the statistics prove it, but if you notice, I'm just saying empirically, y'all know that more black men know how to cook than black women. I mean, really throw down. Even if it's on a grill and stuff. All right. I don't know too many black women that have any home skills. If it don't come in a can, I'm sorry, that child going to starve. All right. So while you read this in yellow, that when you count the work that a man does in and out of the house, he actually does slightly more work than the black woman in, or the woman in and out of the house. So y'all understand this, right? You see, the woman don't consider when a man goes out and cut the yard, mow the yard, trim the yard, run everybody back and forth to the store, go get the tools and supplies that are needed in the house. That's not considered any work. All right. And The women who don't want no man around can't fix crap, so now they hire everybody to do everything, or they don't get it fixed at all. All right, so here's the stats with the time paid work and housework. This is 1965 to 2011. All right, so you can look at the charts here. So the fathers been doing their things. What kind of recognition do we get? We don't get crap on Father's Day. What kind of recognition do the mothers get, even though they do less than the men? Oh, they get to put black men in jail on Mother's Day. In concert with their white daddy, the white system. Look down here, custodial mothers. The total without legal child support award. Do you know why a lot of them didn't get it? One, they did not want the child to have contact with the other parent, with the father. They did not want the child's other parent to pay child support. When you look down to the men, all right, if you look up at the woman, take a look at that. The women that did not want the black men or the men to have, and it's greater in the black community, have contact with the other parent is 21% here. When you look at the men, it's only 12%. So more women did not want the man to have contact with their children. Now, if you look at who didn't want the other parent to pay child support, well, that's mostly men. More men did not want the woman to pay child support because we're men, we got this. See, men, we would never think to put a woman that we once loved in a situation that might put her in prison. Because even despite how we fell out, we never looked at her as an enemy. But I can't say that for a black woman. Just out of spite, they'll do stuff to you. And then while they're doing it, they'll say that they're not doing to you what they're actually doing. Or if they want to complete a narrative, they'll do that. If you notice, if you get into an argument with a black woman, they rarely, if ever, apologize for any wrongdoing, misunderstanding, or whatever. What you get is another argument because they explain how they had the right and how I should have how they have the right. And I was getting ready to say I should put up more stats, but no. How they had the right to feel the way they felt. How they had the right to say the way they said. And it is your job to understand. You don't have no rights to be respected or anything. And if you have a child or whatever, she don't care. She'll dismiss you. I'm saying this is really deep when I just look at this, and it's kind of saddening. I mean, you see the report that persistent myth is always used to explain the belief that most fathers fail to provide financial support for their children. Us black men, we hear this all day, every day. And even though I put the statistics up on my channel, a lot of women that come there to thumbs down what I put up there, they never really looked at the video at all. Most black women look at the title, read a few of the comments, see there's a bunch of men there, and they never look at the video to look at how trifling and skank they are. All right. A higher percentage of mothers than fathers stated that they did not want their father to have contact with their child. They call this parental alienation. Now, I want to get to this. The Pew study found that 21% of white fathers live away from their children. For African Americans, is more than double, 44%. Hispanics, 35% live away from their children. But of the fathers living apart from their children, black dads were the most involved in their child's life. Not only did the Pew Research find this out, black men have always been the most involved in family life than all other men in the United States. But the black men are often perceived as the men that are the least involved, because our black women go on TV shows and put that trash out there knowing it's a lie. Here's my final thoughts. It is very plain to me that everybody say, these black women say, well, if you just be nice to us and stuff like that. They've been saying that for the past 40, 50 years. And the more a brother tried to do that, the more they used him, the more entrapped he became. And dudes, it's time to fight back. All right, and I put up in an earlier video that we need to resort to bro video. We need to resort to making our own groups where we can help black men financially fight for custody of their children. Period. That's what we need to do. Our children stand a better chance of becoming better productive citizens or people, even spiritually so. If they're going to have to be with a single parent, it's best for it to be the man. So we need to fight this system. We need to pull our money together, fight this system so that we can start taking our children back by force. And that's what the scripture says, that the just shall take it by force. So brothers, we need to come up with some ideas, some things we can do, like bake sales or whatever, but things we can do to make money to support brothers to take their child back by force. Even if we have to put money in senators or Congress people pockets to make more just laws. We need to get our voice, and we need to combine with other male groups, other men groups. Like I said, we need to get out of this matrix any way we can. And this brother in this picture says it all. It makes sense now, huh?